I want to talk about this because defense counsel argued, the defense counsel argued, I might have to shoot back. That's not what he says. He says, I'm being shot at, I'm shooting back. He doesn't say, I might have to shoot back. He says, I am shooting back. Some of you guys may be familiar with Occam's razor. Sometimes the easiest answer is the right answer. Right? We've got two options here. This tale of 5 armed men, bandits, walking the property, shooting, not shooting, dangerous, not dangerous, backpacks, non-backpacks, or what the facts say. Defendant sees 2 guys walking his property, unarmed, goes on the patio with his AK, no warning, and shoots 9 times, and hits Gabriel on the side. Sometimes the easiest answer is the right answer. We just went through this. This is the toughest job you'll ever have. It will. It is. This isn't about the character of him as a person. It's not. We're not making a judgment call about him and his life. We're not. This isn't judging his life. This is about the conduct on January 30th, 2023, and that's it. Just the conduct on January 30th, 2003. How many windmills do we chase? How many? Do we chase armed gunmen? There's no BP footage, no foot traffic, no other shell casings found on scene. No one heard the mysterious shot. No evidence of drugs, guns, backpacks, a struggle, body dragging, blood trail. No evidence of any of that. None. No evidence of a rip crew. How many windmills do we chase? And the answer is obvious. If your goal is to get trespassers off your property, and they are already moving off your property, question, why shoot? If your goal here is to warn off cartel members who are already moving off your property, if this boogeyman up to 15 members with guns, the question is, why shoot at them? And finally, if your goal is to protect yourself, and if someone points a gun at you, why are you shooting in the air then? If someone points a gun at you, why are you shooting in the air? Shoot back. Lugan, BP agent Marcel. Defendant said to Marcel, who told him, I struck something. You remember the testimony on the stand? When they tried to cross-examine him about something different? And Lugan, Agent Lugan said, that's the first time I heard that. He testified. Defendant says he was told by Marcel, I struck something. Remember defense opening? We claimed Detective Ainza was hostile. We heard it today. That he browbeat the defendant. No such thing happened. Professionalism. Ainza first starts out by telling me, question, tell me everything you know. Very open-ended question and sat quietly. You have the interview. If you don't believe me, watch it. He asked them, anything you want to ask, anything that is important that's going to help out and assist me in clearing this out. Defendant responds, I don't know. I think we've been very professional, Ainza, and I thank you. I haven't been disrespectful to you. His answer is no, you haven't. There's no browbeating going on here. Ainza, I'm not here to disrespect you. I haven't been disrespectful. Question. Answer. No, you haven't. When they leave that interview, they handshake. There's no browbeating here. It's a voluntary statement by the defendant. Ainza, is there anything else you want to answer? Is there anything else you want to tell me before we end? I'm thinking. He's asking open-ended questions to the defendant. He wants to get to the bottom of this. Justification instructions, we saw this, there's 5 of them. Remember, it's a reasonable person standard. It's not a defendant standard, it's a reasonable person standard. No evidence of any armed gunmen, no BP footage, no foot traffic, we talked about this. No one heard the mysterious shot, no evidence of a robbery, dragging, anything of the sort, none. There's no justification seeing 2 armed gunmen walking 2 fences away, 115 yards, pulling out your AK-47, stepping on the patio, no verbal warning, and shooting 9 times. No justification for that whatsoever. Important 2 concepts. We just talked about reasonable person standard. He escalates the situation. His wife is fine. She testified. She didn't grab her gun. She didn't lock windows. She didn't lock doors. There's no danger here. Justification. You do have the right not to retreat. You do. We don't argue that. However, you do not have the right to use deadly physical force to protect a person who didn't need protecting. And you don't have the right to use deadly force when there is no threat to home or yard. And you don't have the right to initiate, instigate, or escalate with deadly force. No right whatsoever. Reasonable doubt, we just talked about that. Leaves you firmly convinced. We don't know everything with absolute certainty, but it leaves you firmly convinced. Use your common sense and everyday judgment. It's not a mystical thing here. Firmly convinced, and nothing is known with absolute certainty. Use your best judgment. No guessing, just the facts, and we'll end with this. Gabriel and Daniel were shot at. Gabriel is dead, killed by a high-powered weapon, an AK-47. Entry wound, exit wound, lined up with the defendant's property. Defendant's words, there's a typo, inconsistent with the physical evidence. Inconsistent. The victim's statements, consistent. Steps out, no verbal warning. Defendant shot his AK 9 times. Shell casings prove it. Ejection pattern proves where he was standing. Position and orientation of Gabriel's body proves where the shot comes from. The state's going to ask you to find him guilty of second-degree murder. We also have, if you don't agree, manslaughter. If you don't agree with second-degree or manslaughter, you can find him negligent homicide. And also find him guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He manifested everything in this situation. He escalated it. And I'm going to leave with this. The moral of the story, again, is you shot and someone is dead. The answer is yes.
All right, thank you. That concludes the closing arguments. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I need about 5 or 10 minutes just to finish a verdict form. This is the form that I'll give to you when you go back to deliberate. You'll have to complete when you complete your deliberation. So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to excuse you. It should just take 5 or 10 minutes. I'll stay here with the lawyers. We'll excuse the jury, and we'll have you back shortly.
Rise at the court. Rise.
Everyone, you can have a seat. We're just going to finalize the verdict form. It should just take a couple minutes, and we'll be right back.
Rise.